Hello, this is a new moon brief astrology overview of the aspects of the new moon tomorrow at 2/9 2024, or basically February 9th of the new moon in Aquarius. And it is also a twin flame tarot and rune reading, intuitive energy reading, all of the above. So I haven't had time to do my official setup, so I'm trying to embrace my fire a little more and just do this off the cuff and see how fast I can do these and sort of intuitively read the most relevant parts of the chart. So while the data is still in my head, I'm going to spew out the thumbnail that is the cover for this video. But the astrology is basically tomorrow. I'm sort of obsessed with inconjuncts and quincunxes at the moment as kind of being related to the solar astrology, Pluto, and the subconscious. So the inconjuncts are the things you are not seeing. So while the data is still in my brain, I'm going to point out Uranus in Taurus at 19 degrees, which is partially trining Mars and Venus in Capricorn, giving, I'd say, some selfish positive growth in the masculine and feminine sort of. I'd say for me personally, it's like my soul is always been very divine feminine. I feel like it's actually my lifetime and my 3 or 4 lifetimes within this lifetime of it flipping and inverting to more masculine energy now. So at least for now, I think I am leaning more officially into my soul becoming more DM, or at least way more balanced in the polarities of the divine masculine, divine feminine, or whatever that means to you. I kind of am very in my Aquarius moon now, and kind of still cringy with the as all the DMs are of the twin flame, or the DFs at least, the twin flame experience. DMs kind of are just getting serious about this. So I'd say this is more focused towards the divine feminine, but it's an update on focus. The top part here is focused on the divine masculine, and what's the deal? Are they rising to the occasion? And what's the deal with you? Do you want it still or not? Okay, so while the astrology is still in my head, that little trine there, I think, explains that to Venus. And yeah, Uranus is in the 9th house, so adventurous, higher learning. And that would be the solar 4th if you studied traditional astrology. So 4 from the sun, Taurus. That'd be family and roots, but more, I'm finding 4th house and Cancer energy is kind of more about the roots and the soil and the planting and the cardinal water of, I'd say, sort of soul power, empathic. It's just the first level of deepness, I'd say, and having something to protect that is selfless and beyond you, like your tribe and the things that make you vulnerable. So I heard it described as fourth house as the basement. And as a Cancer, didn't understand that, but I understand nostalgia, and I have, as you can see right here, with his face down in the closet and his booty sticking out. This is Feifel from An American Tail, and I recently rebought Feifel. It's kind of an inappropriate. I'll get back to the cards. Poor Feifel. But Feifel has been with me my whole life because it was the first movie that traumatized me and moved me. But I never, when in my teens, I destroyed Feifel and I gave him up, and just recently I rebought him at a Salvation Army, put him in the basement. That's basically what I'm saying, is the nostalgic things that like formed your soul that you want to keep, you put in boxes in the basement. Like, even though he's in rough condition, I'm not going to throw him out. I actually rebought him. So that's the fourth house solar going on here with Uranus and Taurus. So the Uranus and Taurus are in conjunct over to Aries at, so Uranus is at 19 degrees in the ninth house. The North Node is in conjunct on this new moon. Just basically something you're not seeing, something you're unsettled with in Aries and Chiron. Chiron orbiting it, but the North Node. So there's a in conjunct between the unpredictable movings forward in your adventure, higher learning self, and tied to that trine over to your North Node in Aries, your identity. But that is at, we got a theme with sevens in this chart, so that's at 17 degrees of the North Node in Aries. And so I'd say it's probably the direction your masculine and feminine are going to take in its learning and adventures into the future. And also, that is in the seventh house. So, justice, friends, and frenemies. That's eighth house, I'm sorry. So, transformation, potency in Scorpio. So your identity is, Aries is a Mars sign, and eighth house is a Martian house as well. So some turmoil going along with that identity issue. And that would be in the third house of communication in the solar chart. So after that, Saturn is in conjunct in the seventh house of discernment in Pisces. So this is like a very, I'd say all the emotional stuff that still feels Capricorn-y, Piscean, watery. And Neptune is ruling, I think, this new moon still. And this, yes, Neptune is ruling this. So ultimately Saturn is in Neptune's house, or zodiac, with Pisces. I'm sorry. Yes, Neptune is in Pisces with Saturn in Neptune's home, and it's in the seventh house. So friends, frenemies, justice, all Libra things of balance, figuring out sort of with this Uranus of where the adventure goes from here, with this masculine feminine sort of higher learning adventure all in mind there. And so these are just kind of the plutonic sort of subconscious, quincunx is in conjuncts. So the stuff that's really hidden that you're mulling over. And, there's several partial squares, and yeah, there are several partial squares all over the chart here too, adding to it. I don't remember them off the top of my head because I gotta focus on what I can remember. But yes, that is also 7th house, another theme with the 7th there. And finally, that in conjunct is over to, yes, Mercury in Aquarius from Saturn, going to the 6th house of refinement. And yes, more Virgo-y themes. I said refinement earlier, I meant justice. So the Libra house Saturn is in, and Mercury is in the Virgo house 6. Yes, but however, that Saturn is in the 2nd house, solar. So the values are changing along with that big long wave of the Saturn. Integrity and power dynamics sort of shifting. I'd say this is like huge macrocosmic world shift. We're in the new age of Aquarius now. This moon is like officially the last two, the Pluto and Aquarius, and now this is the traction basically of the tank treads of the farmers movement and all sorts of stuff happening everywhere. This is the okay, it's on, it's official. This is the action behind it. So yeah, Mercury in the 6th of Aquarius is really button heads with the power structure and the integrity, and basically logicking. I'd say, besides Saturn being in Neptune, it's like it feels like Saturn's winning still, but Uranus is really, Aquarius is really giving Mercury with the Virgo home house there in Mercury the boost to start this, I'd say, power shift from the old guard to the new, even in the twin flame dynamic here going on. So like, yeah, I'd say the masculine is still seeming and feeling like they're in the power dynamic, but they are not really seeing the future. So there's a shift here going on. And yeah, finally the sun and moon are conjunct a new moon in Aquarius at 20 degrees, and that is in conjunct over to Venus in Capricorn in the 5th house. So yeah, sun and moon, your personality, your feelings in the social zodiac of Aquarius is having unseen, in conjunct, quincunx, things you aren't directly seeing, conflicts, and tug of war basically between Venus and Capricorn, which is like refined. She's at 21 degrees, another 7 there, or multiple of 7, in the 5th house. So, refinement of your male and female energy again with the sun and the moon, but your father, mother, personality, your feelings towards Venus, Venusian things in love and sex and money and finance in Capricorn. So house of power and integrity also. I mean the zodiac of power and integrity, Capricorn. So that's the hidden, watery, earthy, muddy crap that is still making us feel stuck in the age of Pisces, Capricorn, and it'll flip back to that in October, unfortunately, just in time for them to rig the election. Yeah, but vote for Shiva, and yeah, Vivek is probably going to be Trump's running mate. Whatever side you're on, I'm just calling that as my prediction there, because no one on any side is seeing that coming. And I think he's going to be like an Obama too. And I'm keeping that as vague as possible to be as inclusive as possible with everybody. But these are my predictions, all right? Whatever side of the fence you are on, I am choosing no side of these fences. So that is the quincunxes. So yeah, those are the tug of wars in the subconscious that are going on. Venus 5th house, which would be 12th house also. So it'll have love and spiritual ending, transformation, hitting that new moon. So that'll be logically there. And I pulled these cards and I feel like it is the end, at least maybe till October, of this old cycle of like the twin flame cycle that basically ends on the 9th, and that last Pluto in Aquarius transit. And this week has been really intense, and like I haven't been sleeping, and I've just, it's the best and worst of Capricorn and Aquarius sort of energies and Pisces energies feeling all at the same time. But I gathered myself enough to make this reading. So yeah, and the sun and moon also in the first solar house of mixing Aries identity issue with the refinement Virgo house, the 6th house stuff. So I'd like to mash those together. So once again, Uranus 9th and 4th house, Saturn 8th and 3rd house, North Node 8th and 3rd house, communicating, Saturn 7th and 2nd house, Sun and Moon 1st and 6th house, Venus 5th and 12th house. Okay, so now shifting to this beautifully lovely twin flame reading. Okay, so this is what we've been staring at here. This is the divine masculine. And I kind of focused more on my sort of situationships, plural. Yep, I'm not going to go any deeper than that. I just got Venus in Gemini, and I got a Mars in Libra, and I got Libra stelliums. So basically, and lots of water and air. So, and I think I'm a DF, or was. So I just got multiple, Aluna Ash, the awesome ass Aries reader, talking about the mono soul. If everybody has a twin, I have like a fist of mono soul fingers soul fingers groups of connections that I went through. So anyway, what is the DM actually feeling and going through? So they are wanting to they've finally decided, mostly, it's at the bottom of the chart, bottom of the deck was the Hangman. They've decided mostly to move forward, at least in the working department, with the DF moving forward, I think. Or at least being inspired by the works of the DF and the connection that had. It seems like they have it seems like they're open to the journey enough to think that they have a twin, maybe, or a karmic. But basically, here we go here. I'll just get a little closer, get you a little Hero's journey here. So we got a three of Pentacles, and then we got the slowest knight in the deck taking his wandy time. No rush at all for him making any decisions ever. But he's like, do look at the world, let me decide it. I was hoping this would be a 3 of Wands, but definitely still deciding who he wants to be. And he's at least decided he wants to get into some sort of partnership or union and try to become the King of Pentacles. Or at least he is. I got this as an honest King of Pentacles. He's definitely in the 3D become the King of Pentacles. So this is definitely progress. I'd say he has evolved to the next level. But as far as the Divine Feminines, I think he's arriving at the level that you are at as you are leaving to an even new transcendent level, because he is basically still deciding, I think, who is the karmic and who is what. And I think, in a positive way, I'll show at the end there, that little king, I'll give you a little glance at it, the King of Hearts there. I think he has decided, in the little sun on the sunflower of the Queen of Wands there, I think he's decided who his twin actually is and what they do and how they are balanced in their feminine and masculine. And he is inspired. However, he is at the 7 of Pentacles, just getting basically on the page you've been since the beginning of the cycle. He's getting ready to communicate. Ace of Swords. And he's just so excited that he's on the journey. But he's the Page of Wands. And he's still figuring out his burdens. And he's still living in the old Capricorn world, the Capricorn Pisces world, of still operating in the F-boy energy of, and that in the sense that they don't have the value and integrity of realizing that the new roles are stop juggling. All right, just pick a thing and go. And like I said, he's finally decided, seemingly, who the King of Wands is for him, and also maybe embracing his own balance between his own Queen of Wands and King of Wands, or picking externally which one it is. So I was very confused by this. And I'll go back to that. But that'll be a clarifier at the end of the read. I'll go back to that. But where is the Divine Feminine? So the Divine Feminine is in the Hermit. So she is moving up. I'll give a little clarifier too. 7 of Swords, diamonds, and they're red. So to me, I'll explain at the end what the color means of the red. But the Hermit is basically this Aquarius, Mercury, 7th house, and the sun there, sort of the inner solar, like, quasar of the decision made. The sun is also giving off lots of neutrinos right now. There are massive, enormous solar flares causing all the earthquakes on the planet right now. It's, carbon doesn't do that. It's electromagnetism. If you're into that scarcity stuff and the weather and learning what's actually going on. Yeah, the earthquakes and the shifting of icebergs and all those things. It's all the earthquake stuff. I'll just say that. The flooding and the earthquakes, this is the sun. But I'd say for the Divine Feminine, she has made up her mind on moving forward alone, not really needing anyone, the sort of smugness. Finally, we never got the 9 of Cups for the Divine Feminine, and it keeps coming up all the time now. So, fully content, and I'm not saying it's smug, actually. It's just, I'm happy alone, and it's because my nostalgia and emotional giving and balance is going to me, the nostalgia of myself, and the looking back of all the hurts that ever were involved in our life. We're kind of injected with the masculine energy enough now to go, I was hurting myself. Looking back, I saw the red flags the whole time with these wandy D-bags who were wasting my time and my love and my life and my cups, pouring them on the ground with the swords there, causing you anxiety. You were pouring your own cups out by choosing narcissistic, wandy D-bags. So now it's the second time I pulled these 2 cards in a row. You are returning the reciprocity to yourself. This is really the feminine coming into balance with the masculine. You are getting the strength to discern your Queen of Swords, cutting out all the fuckboys, and your fuckboy, your hidden inner fuckboy that allowed that disrespect of yourself this whole time. And I read this as a positive of the 4 of Pentacles, as in it is the age of Aquarius, and this reminded me of also the farmer revolt going on in Germany right now. But we are protecting the future. That's why the city's in the background. We are taking the grain, we are taking the food, we are taking the power back, and we are protecting our future from our inner fuckboy and outer fuckboys. as the Fool, the Zero card transcends down the mountain from the Virgo Hermit, down the mountain into our new age of Aquarius, Ten of Cups, new beginnings, and I'd say balance, inner contentment. And once again, this whole process is sponsored by Neptune and Saturn in Pisces, the Hanged Man. Very Odin, the entire hero's journey here in this entire read. I try to do this fast as possible, and it was. It didn't take forever on this, so I'm going to clarify. I usually pull the masculine with my right hand, and I pull the feminine with my left hand, and then I clarify this with the left hand, like the feminine aspect of the king, the divine masculine. So what did I get here? I got a anyway, it says Howard, I think I need more light. That's what I need. This is all I'll do. Yeah. So Howard, I get closer there. What the fuck? Come on, dude. Give me some more light. Let there be light. Let there be light. Okay, here we go. Yeah. So, yeah, it says something like the Howard, I think the dog wants to go out, and he's dressed in a tuxedo. So, the King of Wands, the Divine Masculine's finally gotten the idea that he needs to dress for success and basically come full-fledged into the journey and get his shit together, and he's ready for self-love, at least, and maybe the divine feminine. We do have the Ace of Swords and all that, so he might reach out if that's ever going to happen. This doesn't look like he's ready, or that he'll say it all in the right ways at all, or decided exactly, but he knows enough that he wants the pentacles and he wants the wands. You notice there are no cups. No, yeah, so he's on a new level, but this is the club. The King of Hearts is the King of Cups. So, and I wanted the red to be a positive clarifier. So that to me just meant, are they moving up or are they not? Up. And here we go with the rune. So also up. This rune to me is very Sagittarian with the arrow. So Jupiter. And yeah, Jupiter in Taurus. And Tyr smelt. So this is the rune card. Tyr is the original god of the Norse. Before Odin, represents Tuesday. And he is basically the god of non-blood sacrifices. So this is like very Plutonic, Scorpionic, and Saggy. I'm getting. So how do we read this guy? See if I can read it while I get a little more light up on this guy. Okay, yeah. Here we go. Proto-God, so old that time has smelled all emotions within. War and fury have been hammered, reformed, made over, recreated, refashioned through the compassion to understand all shadows, all destinies as part of the whole, under the tutelage of Tyr. All blows, all hammer changes, or change, and all strikes. Glow from the flow of love, breath he offers to all life. Wisdom is beauty and compassion and ageless. So yes, Jupiter is compassion as well. I see kind of like an angel in there and wings, and almost like it's like swords and like a gun or something. So yes, this is times of war, but I think I'm getting this more as past life, masculine sort of processing the PTSD of past life, war energy, and processing the age of Aquarius, the age of Pisces, sort of past life, karmic, the malice lesson that the masculine had to learn throughout the past lives. I feel like that is being dissolved, and the healthy feminine is still emerging from them. They just, with the Two of Pentacles and the Wands, and they haven't 3D'd the transition yet exactly of how to change and go about this new way of operating without malice and a healthy feminine balance. Okay, and I'm going to read this guy. This is the Seven of Diamonds, so the I'd say Seven of Swords. I took it more as a lucky version of the Seven of Swords, as in live and let live, I suppose. It's all basically about the... Get out of here, bug. It is about processing the feminine trauma of letting go, and not, like I said, don't let you be your own inner fuckboy. Stop being hung up. The Mercury in Virgo decision of clear the past, let go of the F-boy energy. And notice how I made the masculine doggies and the feminine kitties. So here we go. Leche, emotional bleed, the grim harvest, seeking balance, profound heart, wound bleeding, grief pouring, emotions scarring, leaves raining down ceaselessly, pain after pain after pain, you can't explain it away. Feel it, bleed it, pour it all out until you and it are almost broken from exhaustion. How come on. How clearing pain makes space for new treasures deeper in your heart. 72. We got another 7 theme there, and Tyr was another 17 where Saturn is. I don't not See, that's a coincidence. 72. Also, Mars is at 27 degrees of Capricorn. Yeah, so the masculine total gets an 8. Feminine gets a 9. Almost as if they're still not on the same plane and dimension exactly. But this is very end of the age of Pisces, using the Uranus Taurus in the 9th house of adventure, and this Mercury in the 1st house, solar, 6th house, Virgo-y, refining mental energy that is going to clear, basically earth and air working together to get rid of this water, earthy, poopy pants, feminine torture that they have imposed on themselves of limiting their own beliefs, making way for the new age of Aquarius, turning the poopy pants Neptune into the happily ever after Neptune. That is a fucking awesome read, if I do so say so myself. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining me. I'm Drew Higgins. I'm going to be on Luminaries channel and on Art World Ways of Being. I'm Drew Sells' roommate. Jamie and I are going to do the podcast on Saturday night or morning, post all this, because we are far too 6th house Aquarian and watery and cappy to have handled doing a podcast this week during the transit. So, not to cop out like the other readers do sometimes, but this one was a little too personal for us to do it in time. We got to process and explain it after. So, this is my update. All right. Thank you very much. Luminaries eclipse. Twin flame reading. Astrology. Tarot. Energy. Rune. Pull. Have a good night. See you tomorrow. Or Saturday. Bye.